Audio is okay, right?
Yes. Audio is good.
Okay. Visual, you can see.
Okay, so I will just introduce you briefly. Just a short, very brief introduction. Okay,
Okay.
a very good morning to Encik Zanurin bin Muhammad Safar, our facilitator. Puan Indra Kaliaperumal, head of the LMS English panel, teachers of respective schools in LMS, and dear students. Okay. Welcome to the BENGKEL Teknik Menjawab Bahasa Inggeris Kertas 2 SPM 2022. First and foremost, I shall introduce our facilitator for today's program, Encik Zanurin. Okay. He is from SMK Sultan Badruli Shah Kedah, a cluster school in Kedah. He is, shall I say, a specialist in his field. Encik Zanurin has studied the CFR curriculum and the SPM exam format in order to come up with his own ideas and tips in helping students to score in the English writing paper. Okay. Without further ado, I call upon Encik Zanurin to begin. I'm sure he has lots of tips to give our students today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Teacher Surinder. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning. First of all, I'm not sure whether Puan Zarina is here. Anyway, a very good morning to Puan Zarina Muhammad Yusof, the SISC Plus Officer for LMS District. Puan Indra, daughter of Kalia Perumal, the Secretary of the Larut Matang Selama District English Language Panel. Okay, then to Teacher Surinder, who is the coordinator of today's program, to all the English language teachers, and of course, last but not least, to all the SPM candidates of SPM 1119. All right. And today, okay, there will be a writing workshop. Okay, even though it's online, okay, we will try to make it interactive. Okay, even though I know there could be some challenges, okay, for me to interact with the candidates, with the participants. So today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I will be sharing with all of you, okay, my module, which is called SEL, Strategies to Enhance Language Luster, or Language Quality, actually. So as the module, okay, is named in such a way, the focus for today is more on language. All right. And I would like to thank Larut Matang and Selama District Education Office, okay, for inviting me for this workshop. Okay. Now, before we proceed, okay, it is important. It is important not only for the candidates, but also for the teachers to understand clearly about the assessment criteria, because the tips which I will be sharing later, okay, all are relevant to the assessment criteria. All right. So I'm sure teachers are very familiar. However, I must make sure the candidates know. Okay, today we are not really focusing on the content. Okay, anyway, what is content? Okay, how can you get a high mark for content? All right, boys and girls. Okay, as long as you fulfill all the tasks, as long as you answer all the questions with the relevant ideas, relevant details, and because of that, your reader is fully informed. Your reader understand what you write clearly, then you will get a high mark for content. Okay, it's quite easy to get 5/5, okay, for content. Now, CA. Yeah, CA is closely related to your language, to what you write, to how you write. So because of that, it is important for you to understand what is communicative achievement. It's a bit technical, especially for you, the candidates. Anyway, try to understand. Okay, I know you are not the teachers, you are not the examiners who will give mark for CA. However, because you are the candidates, you must understand clearly what is communicative achievement so that you can know what to do, how to score 5/5 for your CA. Now, the first element under CA is the conventions of the communicative task. And under this first element, okay, boys and girls, there are three things. Okay, first of all, format. Certain pieces of writing would require you to have the correct format. Okay, formats we have like email, article, report, right? Then register. Register is about whether the essay is written in a formal or informal manner. And then the tone. Yeah. The tone will influence your language. Okay, boys and girls, what you write, how you write, okay, will also be influenced by the tone, okay, which I will explain later. So examples of tone, it could be a friendly tone, it could be an informative tone, or persuasive tone. All right. Then, okay, 2.2. Okay, 2.2 is related to our focus today. That is language quality. Because under CA, okay, teachers, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, okay, lembaga peperiksaan mentioned you should be able to hold readers' attention. Okay, so only in B1, B2, and C1, not A2. So what does it mean? Okay, holding readers' attention is not included in part 1, not included in the email writing. Okay, so what is it about? Okay, it is about reader derives meaning clearly, not being distracted by frequency of errors. Meaning to say it's about your grammar. Okay, the reader or the examiner who marks your paper, okay, should be able to read your essay smoothly. The reader should not be distracted by the frequent errors that you make. Okay, meaning the reader doesn't have to stop or read or reread because of the errors. Okay, so I was informed that the candidates or the participants for today's workshop are potential A candidates. So remember, you are the potential A minus, A plus candidates. Try not to make or to have too many errors, okay, boys and girls, because that would like disturb the flow of reading by the reader, by the examiner. Okay, when the flow of reading is affected, when the reading is not so smooth because of errors, that is how the attention of the reader is not held. Okay, so this is different, teachers. This is different from the old format. The old format, we have interest is aroused and sustained. Okay, meaning as a reader, we are engaged. We are very interested to read the essay from A to Z, from the beginning till the end. This is not about that in the new assessment. Okay, all right. So the next element, okay, boys and girls, under CA. That's why I said just now, it's a bit technical, it's a bit complicated. However, you must know, because the third element here is about the ideas that you present, okay? And to present these ideas, it will also influence your sentence structure, all right? Which, again, I will explain later, okay? I have many examples to show you. So now, there are three kinds of ideas according to lembaga peperiksaan: simple, straightforward, and complex. So how do you explain? Okay, simple idea is direct. Okay, it is, okay, as you listen, boys and girls, I hope you can jot down. Don't only listen, write down, take down extra notes. Okay, like this one. Okay, it is written using only a few words. Could be 4 words, maybe 6 words. I would say the most 6 words. Okay, 4 words, 5 words. Okay, the most 6 words, meaning the sentence is short. Okay, like this one, I like my English teacher. Okay, now the straightforward idea, okay, Lembaga Perperasaan says is concrete. So what does it mean by concrete? Okay, it means here, okay, please jot down. You don't have to interpret, no hidden meaning, no underlying meaning. The idea that you present in the sentence is clear. Okay, no need to do any interpretation. Okay, for example, this one, learning English in Miss Lina's class is always fun. And the difference between simple idea and straightforward idea, of course, you could see the straightforward idea is written using more words. It is longer. Okay. Now, complex idea. We are not talking about complex structure. We are not talking about complex sentence. No. Take note. Complex idea. Okay. Lembaga Perperasaan describes it as abstract. Okay. What does it mean by abstract? It's easy. The opposite of concrete. What did I say just now about concrete? No need interpretation. No, there's no hidden meaning. No underlying meaning. Okay. However, okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for abstract, okay, there is a hidden meaning. There is an underlying meaning. It requires interpretation. Okay. So like this one, we are hypnotized by Miss Lina's English class. Okay. So this part, we are hypnotized. Okay. It doesn't mean that, like Miss Lina hypnotized the students. Okay. It has the underlying meaning, which could be Miss Lina's English class is so interesting. Okay, is so mesmerizing. All right. So that kind of idea is called a complex idea. All right. And for information, most of the sentences which uses idioms, okay, would carry complex ideas. Okay. Have you written that down? I repeat, most of the ideas which use, most of the sentences which use idioms, okay, idioms would carry complex ideas. Okay, for example, we were over the moon to be in Miss Lina's English class. We, okay, I repeat, we were over the moon to be in Miss Lina's English class. We were so happy. It is an idiom, so it carries a complex idea. Okay. So again, when we talk about sentence structures or the sentences that you write, yeah, it is also influenced by CA. Now, boys and girls, remember we are talking about the second assessment criterion, communicative achievement, which is CA. The third one would be organization. Okay, this one is also related to language because, okay, if we talk about linking words like and, but, or so, okay, of course, surely they are part of language, like cohesive devices too. Moreover, furthermore, which I will explain, okay, later. And last one, yeah, language. So you should know by now how many types of vocabulary, okay, mentioned by Lembaga Perperasaan or the Malaysian Education Syndicate. Boys and girls, there are 3 types of vocab. First of all, basic vocab. Okay, all of you are potential A candidates. Try to minimize basic vocab. Okay, use more everyday vocab, and you should have some, okay, a good number of less common lexis. So now what is a less common lexis? All right, okay, less common lexis would be the sophisticated words, okay, words which you rarely use, you don't always use, like vanish, vicious, okay. I'll give more examples. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, teachers, if any of you raise If any of you raises your hand, I will not be able to see. So you may have to switch on your mic to interrupt me. Okay, no problem. Because I can only see my slide. Okay. Structures. Okay, under language, secondly, boys and girls. Yeah, I could hear something. What is it? Is it hand raised? Okay, as I said, do interrupt me, no problem. You need to switch on your mic. Okay, let me proceed. Structures, okay, boys and girls, there are two. Okay, we have lembaga peperiksaan, okay, in the assessment criteria for writing, okay, has mentioned two sentence structures. First of all, simple, okay, like this one. I am really short. The problem will get worse soon. Okay, how do you know whether the sentence or the structure is a simple structure? Okay, take note. There is only one idea. There is only one idea. Okay, please jot down. Complex structure. Okay, before that, don't get mixed up. Don't get confused with complex idea just now. Okay, under CA, communicative achievement, we have complex idea. But now, under language, the fourth assessment criterion, boys and girls, we have complex structure. Okay. So what is a complex structure? Okay, to make it easy, to make it simple for all of you, boys and girls, okay, jot down, it has more than one idea. Okay, it has more than one idea. Okay, I will explain more after this. Like this one, our recess is too short. That's the first idea. Okay, our recess is too short. So some pupils have to rush eating their food. That's the second idea. So there are two ideas here. And here, okay, your mark for language is also determined by your degree of control or your language accuracy. Here is about grammar. Okay, 4.3, boys and girls, is about grammar. Okay, now if your grammar is good, you will have full control of the language. But if there are errors, perhaps frequent errors, then you may have some control of the language. Okay. And then number two, okay, 4.3 number two, the difference between slips and errors. Okay. Slips, I would say, okay, non-systematic performance errors, or to make it easy for you, they are like careless mistakes. Okay. You know the grammar rules. Okay, let's say you know the past tense of go is went. You know past tense of go is went. However, maybe because you were rushing in exam, you did not use when, you use go. Okay, but you know go. However, errors, okay, errors happen repeatedly. And to make it easy for you to understand, you do not know, okay, that the past tense of go is went. Okay, but not to worry too much, boys and girls, because the third one, okay, it is all right to have, okay, a few errors. It is all right to have a few errors as long as your errors, okay, your grammar mistakes do not impede communication. So what does it mean, do not impede communication? Meaning your ideas can still be communicated clearly. The meaning can be derived clearly. The reader or the examiner can understand what you write clearly. Okay? So it's all right to have a few errors. All right. And of course, spelling is the last one. Okay. So for your writing paper, we have 3 parts. So now I'm going to proceed with part 1, and the focus, as all of you know, is on vocabulary and sentence structures. Now, tip number 1. Okay, tip number 1, you need to examine the character. Okay, boys and girls, examine the character, examine the sender of your email and her situation. Okay, underline situation. I really hope you have the printed material with you. Underline the situation. Why? Because they shape your language. They influence your language, your vocab, and sentence structures. Okay, let us see here. SPM 2021. Okay, I'm sure you are familiar with this. Anyway, let's read quickly. You received an email from your cousin Gina, who wants your opinion on something. So you must examine the character. She is Gina. Okay. Hi, I've been asked to choose a sports club, but I can't decide. I cannot decide which club to join. So what is her situation? What is her feeling? Okay. Maybe she's not sure. Maybe she's worried. Okay. Which sports club do you think I should choose? Why do you think it's suitable for me? What can I learn from joining a sports club? Okay, remember when I talk about tone just now, it's under CA, Communicative Achievement. So boys and girls, when you have understood the character, her situation here, Gina's situation, okay, as I said, you will be able to write better structures like this one. Okay. Hi Gina, you know I'm always here for you. Okay, so the tone here, the ones in red, okay, are the tone. So comforting. Okay, relax Gina, let me help you clear your doubt. Okay, so another sentence structure to comfort Gina. Okay, because she's not sure and maybe she's worried, as I said. Okay, up to the extent that she has to write an email to ask for your opinion. Okay, I know you have always wanted to explore hockey, so I think you should join the hockey club in your school. Okay, these are sentences to answer the three tasks. Okay, joining the hockey club suits you because you are passionate about the game. Besides, you also wish to be like your sister, a professional hockey player. I know you will be a great player, Gina. Okay, so this is the one in blue would be the sample sentence structure, okay, to comfort her, okay, which I know you can learn something from here. Now, for sure, there are a lot to learn. Okay, this is task 3. Firstly, you will learn about teamwork. Moreover, the game will shape you to be a better thinker and decision maker. Awesome, right? Okay, Gina, don't worry. Okay, comforting again. I'm confident you will make a wise decision. Please do not feel stressful, dear. Okay, so the word, the sentence structure like please, dear, okay, you should learn to apply at the right context, okay, for the right situation. If you have to comfort someone, all right. And as you could see there in red, the red circle, okay, enhanced communicative achievement. Okay, we look at this one. Okay, this is taken from Kedah SPM Trial 2021. Okay, you receive an email from your cousin Adam who enjoys eating. Okay, remember the character? Adam enjoys eating. I'll be visiting you next week. I have not been to your place for quite a long time. So this is his situation. He has not been to your place for quite a long time. Okay, so what is the tone? When you understand the tone, okay, what should you do? That would influence your sentence structures. Let's say when you know Adam has not been to your place for quite a long time, you should be welcoming. Okay. Hi Adam, you are coming. That's great. Okay, that's great, meaning you are happy that he would come. That is a way to welcome him. Okay. And we look at the last paragraph. Adam, make sure you come here fast. Another sentence which carries the idea of welcoming. I can't wait to give you a treat. Okay, a friendly tone as well as a welcoming tone. Okay, so what have you learned so far? What have you learned so far? I really hope that what you learned here, as I said, as I have written in tip number 1 there. Okay. Please, when you read the question for part 1, the email, understand, examine the character, understand his or her situation, because that would influence, that would shape your language, okay? Depending on the tone, okay? Do you have to persuade the character? Do you have to convince the character? Do you have to calm the character down? And of course, calming someone down, persuading someone, convincing someone would require different sentence structures and vocabulary, definitely. Okay. The other examples, okay, like this one. Okay. Another question. You received an email from your best friend, okay, from your best friend, Stephanie. So what is her situation? I need to convince my parents that I am ready for a pet. They haven't given me their green light yet. Okay, so this is her situation. And because of this, you need to be supportive. Okay, I do understand your situation, but don't worry. You also need to be comforting. So what kind of words? Don't worry. Okay, don't forget, don't worry. Okay, I know your parents will say yes soon. Comforting. What about getting a cat? I know it's your birthday wish. Go for it, dear. Supportive. So you can use this simple, short structure like go for it, dear. Let's say the situation is about Adam. Go for it, Adam. So write this sentence. If you have to support, all right, you can always come to me, okay, to learn about how to care for your cat. Okay, this is answering the task. You know I have 20 cats, right? I would love to share with you tips on how to care for cats. Okay, and that's another part which we can say being supportive. Okay, we look at the last paragraph. I'm positive you will get your green light very soon. Okay, remember when you really analyze the question, remember her parents have not given the green light and she's like worried. So you need these kind of sentence structures. Okay, boys and girls, I am positive you will get your green light very soon. I can't wait to play with your cat. Okay. And definitely when you are able to write these structures, these sentences, which will also convey the tone effectively, that would enhance your communicative achievement mark. All right. Okay, this one I think you can read on your own because this session is only 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay, tip 2. Tip 2, okay, determine the purpose of each task. Okay, we are still in part 1, boys and girls. Okay, you have 3 tasks for your email. Each task will have a purpose. And when you understand, when you know the purpose, okay, you will write the right sentences. Okay, you will write, okay, the appropriate sentences and use appropriate vocabulary. Okay, again, this question, okay, about Gina, who cannot decide which sport club to choose. Okay, so you must know, okay, do you have to suggest, do you have to recommend, or do you want to suggest, do you want to recommend? Okay, these are examples of purposes. As I mentioned earlier, maybe you have to convince, you may have to persuade, you may have to advise, and you may have to describe. Okay. Then be prepared. Be prepared with the relevant words or phrases like this one. Okay. I need to highlight, boys and girls, there is a difference between to suggest and to recommend. Okay, like this one. Have you tried prawn noodle soup? Okay, what you can learn from here, boys and girls, even by asking a question, like this one. Have you tried prawn noodle soup? Okay, or would you like to try hockey club? Okay, let's say you're writing to Gina. Would you like to try hockey club? Okay, that is a suggestion actually. So giving her a question, okay, is one way, okay, one of the ways to suggest. Or you can be more direct. I suggest you join sports club, or you might want to join sports club. Okay, and the ones in red would be the structures which you can always apply. So what is the difference between to suggest and to recommend? Okay, to recommend, jot down, okay, boys and girls, you must bring in your personal experience. Okay, must bring in a personal experience. Okay, like this one. If I were you, I would stay at Merdeka Hotel. My stay there last week was superb. Okay, you have a personal experience. So you have to be creative. You have to be imaginative. Jogging is very good for you. Jogging helps me to lose 10 kilograms. Or like in the case of Gina, I would suggest you to join a hockey club. I truly enjoy myself being a member of a hockey club. Something like that. Okay? Then to convince, okay? So you have to study, you have to examine, okay? Examine the task, the situation. If you have to convince, okay, don't forget to use words like trust me, dear, trust me, Adam, okay? You will definitely love, okay? And calm down, don't worry, relax, okay? You must understand the situation, you must understand the character, okay? And then use appropriate words, phrases, or sentences. Okay, like to advise, to persuade is easy. Persuade is one magical word. Please, okay, don't forget to include that. Tip number 3. Okay, construct appropriate sentence structures to present straightforward ideas. That's why I started by explaining to all of you about the 4 assessment criteria. Remember, under CA, we have straightforward ideas. And teachers, if I'm sure you know, okay, for CA, Lembaga mentioned the candidates the candidates are able to present straightforward ideas successfully. Okay, so again, the same question. Okay, we look at the sentences, okay, which you can write in order to present straightforward ideas. So I purposely share with you these 2 columns: simple ideas, straightforward ideas. Okay, number 1, you are talkative. It is a simple idea. You are talkative and people love it. Okay, you are a great cook. You are the best cook in the whole world. Remember, the sentence is longer. Simple ideas, the sentence is short. Straightforward idea, the sentence is longer and the idea is clear. The idea is concrete. There is no hint. Okay, you are the best cook in the whole world. Okay, you can sing well. You can sing much better than Justin Bieber. Okay, so I hope you are clear. Okay, let's try number 5. You love hockey, and that's why it's a bit difficult for me to interact with all of you. And our time is also not that long. So, okay, I really hope I could interact. You know, that's why it's better face to face. Number 5, you love hockey. So how can you make it longer? Okay, can you try on your own? Can you try on your own? Can you try with your teachers over there? Okay, perhaps I give you 1 minute or less. Okay, try, please try. You can either try number 5 or number 6. Okay, even though I cannot really get your feedback, even though I cannot really hear from you, okay, it's okay. But I really need you to try. Later, I'll share you. okay, a few options for straightforward idea, okay, for number 5 and number 6. Okay, lesson number 5. You love hockey. Okay, so one tip here, okay, for all of you boys and girls, one easy tip for you to present a straightforward idea to make it longer, you just use and, but, or so. And, but, or so. Of course, there are many ways. Using and, but, or so is one of the ways. Okay. For example, I know you love hockey so much. No, not this one. You love badminton, but you love hockey more. Okay, maybe you want to write down my sentence. You love badminton, but you love hockey more. Okay. Hey, remember Gina? She does not know. She's not sure which sports club to choose. You love badminton, but I know you love hockey more. Okay. All right. Or number 6, you are a genius. Okay, is a simple. The sentence carries a simple idea. Okay, you are a genius, and there is no doubt about it. You see, and you are a genius, and there is no doubt about it. Okay. Or so, remember so just now, and but also, you are a genius, so don't worry too much. You are a genius, so don't worry too much. Okay, that sentence would carry a straightforward idea, which, okay, as candidates who aim to get at least a B plus, A minus, A or A plus, you must be able to present those straightforward ideas effectively, okay, in all your writings, in all your essays, part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay, all right. I know some of you may need more practices. It's okay. Okay, you can practice with your own English teachers, okay, after this. But what you must understand right now, boys and girls, you must be able to include, okay, straightforward ideas in your writing. Okay. So now we have come to part 2. Okay. Again, the focus is still on vocab and sentence structures. Okay. So for part 2, we are going to look at, okay, SPM 2021. Okay, SPM 2021. Your class has been discussing the ways people can show kindness. Okay, it's about showing kindness. And for your information, this is taken from Unit 12. Relevant to Unit 12, which is about doing voluntary work, which is about doing charity. Okay, Unit 12 of your textbook. Okay, so in your essay, you should write about an act of kindness you experienced, why we must be kind to others, how to encourage people to be kind. So tip number 4, boys and girls, again, know the purpose of each task. Okay. Just now part 1, now part 2. What could be the purpose? Okay. Based on SPM 2021, based on the sample question given by Lembaga Peperiksaan, okay, I would say, teachers, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the main purpose would be to present opinions. Okay, to present opinions. Okay, anyway, as all of you know, boys and girls, you are the second batch, okay, of the new format. So we hope Lembaga Peperiksaan won't change much. Then, number 2, the purpose would be to describe. Okay, either you describe personal experience, okay, you describe What you describe will depend on the question, definitely. Okay, like just now, an act of kindness that you experience. Okay, I would say the description would be personal experience, and then you may have to decide or choose and justify number or numbering is wrong there, typo. It should be 1 2. There are two number 2 only now I notice. Okay, to justify is also important, to give reason. Okay, so this is one of the key writing tasks. This is one of the purposes of writing, and there could be other possible writing tasks or possible purposes, like to compare and contrast, to show causes and effects. Okay, so now when you know, about the purposes, then be prepared with the useful words and phrases like this one. I'm sure you could see, number 1 to number 10. From number 1 to number 10, you do not see in my opinion. I purposely left out in my opinion simply because all of you know in my opinion. And I have put number 2 in red. Because it's a bit different. As far as I am concerned, I'm sure boys and girls, many of you, I'm not saying all, but I'm quite sure many of you have not used this to present your opinions. Or like number 6, in my eyes. Again, this would improve your language. This would improve your structure. So you know, part 2, part 2, based on what we have seen in SPM 2021, based on what we have seen in the sample questions given by Lembaga, you are required to present opinions. So please memorize a few of these, and don't keep repeating as far as I'm concerned. Use different ways, different phrases to present your opinions, And then, how do you justify? How do you give reasons? What kind of suitable language? What kind of suitable sentence structures? Like number 3. I take this stand for this main reason. Or number 6, to justify my choice, or my decision, you can always change. The word choice, boys and girls, can always be changed to justify my decision, to justify my preference, to justify my stand. I will present 3 reasons, for example. So get ready with these structures. They are very relevant to part 2. And this one, so far, boys and girls, teachers, of course, we know this has not been tested yet. To write about pros and cons, to write about advantages and disadvantages. However, boys and girls, you must know they are in the syllabus. They are in the scheme of work. Writing about advantages and disadvantages, pros and cons. So, get ready. Who knows, it could be tested in 2022. So we look at the some words which are relevant, which are useful to write about disadvantages. Like number 1, the main downside of, let's say, of course, it depends on the question. Let's say the main downside of the internet, or a frequent criticism of open book test. You know, of course, an open book test would have its pros and cons. And so on. Downside, criticism, drawbacks, flaws all carry the same meaning. And I'm sure some of you may not be familiar. However, as SPM candidates, boys and girls, you have no choice. You need to get yourself familiar with all these sentence structures. Okay, and it could be asked in part 2 or part 3. Okay, we don't know. I don't know. Okay, part 2 or part 3. I mean, talking about or writing about pros and cons. Okay, tip number 6. Okay, construct appropriate sentences to engage your readers. Okay, and this is recommended by the Form 5 English textbook. Okay, page 52. How can you engage your readers? How can you get your readers' attention to read? Okay, by talking to the readers in a more direct way. How? Like using you, your, we, meaning you include the reader. Okay, the reader will feel included, okay, in the discussion, in the writing. And another way, okay, is to ask questions. So asking question would, okay, influence what you write. Okay, and of course, asking questions would also be a part of sentence structures that you write. Questions like what? Of course, it depends on the question. Could be like, how would you feel if the service at the canteen is not improved? Okay, this is based on the issue stated in the sample paper given by Lembaga Peperiksaan. Okay, part 2, you have to write about school canteen. Okay, how the canteen can improve. So this question is relevant. How would you feel if the service at the canteen is not improved? And this is a good technique. Okay, asking the right questions, asking the relevant questions, boys and girls, is good. So don't forget, okay, it's part of your language. Okay, it is part of sentence structures. All right. Tip number 7. Okay, tip number 7. Use focused, less common lexis to enhance your vocab. Okay, so what do I mean? Like this one, part 2. Boys and girls, I'm still talking about part 2. Okay, in part 2, as I mentioned, there will be an issue, there will be a topic given to you. Okay, like in the sample paper given by Lembaga Peperiksaan, it's about school canteen. And in SPM 2021, it's about an act of kindness. It's about doing charity, okay, being kind to other people. So when you present, you can use this focus, less common lexis. How? To describe situation, to describe an issue, to describe a problem, to describe an action. Okay, we look at some examples. It is fundamental. Okay, so fundamental means important. Important is an everyday vocab, not less common lexis, but fundamental. Okay, is, okay, one example of less common lexis, which will give you a better mark, a higher mark for your language. Okay, prompt actions. So describing the actions. What kind of actions? Immediate actions. Don't use immediate. Okay, candidates of potential A minus, A plus must have, okay, a good number of less common lexis. Rampant, like rampant. Number 3, this issue is severe yet solvable. Stern, okay, parents must be stern, or stern action by parents. Mandatory, concerted effort, okay. A concerted effort will ensure success. And number 7, vandalism should not be ignored as it is cancerous, as it is detrimental. Okay, don't use destructive, don't use dangerous. Okay, dangerous is a normal, not a common word. Use detrimental. okay, to describe the problem, the issue, okay. Pragmatic, down to earth, outstanding, okay. Right. And of course, there are more words, okay, there are more words. Here, boys and girls, what must you understand? Okay, be prepared with focus less common lexis. Okay, how to focus? To describe the issue, to describe the problem, to describe the kind of action. Okay, I hope you are clear. I hope you understand what I'm saying clearly. Okay, because we are going to proceed with part 3. Can someone tell me the time right now? Because I'm not wearing watch and I don't have any clock nearby me. What's the time now, teachers? Anybody?
9:48.
9:45, sir.
9:45. Okay, okay. So because you are, thank you. Okay. All right. So part 3. Okay. Part 3, vocab and sentence structures. Okay. Again, the focus is on vocab and sentence structures. All right. So based on SPM 2021, okay. All right. This is the question for the review. Okay, you recently saw this notice in a travel magazine. Okay, reviews needed. We are interested in finding out about the most popular restaurant in your area. State the name and location of the restaurant. Tell us what makes their food special. Would you recommend the restaurant to others? And then why? Okay. Again, you are the second batch of the new format, boys and girls. Okay, hopefully Lembaga does not change the question for review, meaning it would follow this kind of structure, SPM 2021, it would follow the kind of structure given in the sample question, okay? The last part or task 3, you are asked to recommend, okay? Now, okay, I would continue with tip number 8, that is construct complex structures. Okay. It is important in part 3 for you to be able to write complex structures. Okay, part 2 and part 3. So you must understand what, okay, is a complex structure. So I'm going to explain to you 3 different types of sentences. Simple sentence, it has only one main idea. The girls are not smart. Okay. All right. So what is a compound sentence? Okay. The second one is compound sentence. It has 2 main ideas that are linked by and, but, or, so. Okay, easy. Remember and, but, or, so. For example, the boys are handsome and brilliant. Wow, the boys are smiling. Okay, the boys are handsome. That is the first idea. The boys are brilliant. That is the second idea. So there are 2 ideas here, and the 2 ideas are linked by and, but, or, so. Okay, I feel hungry, so I go to the canteen. Okay, so the first idea, I feel hungry. The second idea, I go to the canteen. Okay, and these 2 ideas are linked by so. I feel hungry, so I go to the canteen. Okay, this is our focus. Complex sentence. A complex sentence has one main idea and one or more subordinate ideas. Okay, so what is a subordinate idea? Okay, I'll write down. It means additional idea. Okay, additional idea. It could also mean a supporting idea. Okay, additional idea or a supporting idea. Okay, we look at number one. The waiters who are mostly part-timers serve like professionals. So you must understand which one is the main idea. The waiters serve like professionals. Okay, another tip for you, the subordinate ideas, okay, boys and girls, are not in complete sentence, okay? But the main idea is in a complete sentence. For example, the waiters serve like professionals. It is a complete sentence. Okay? Who are mostly part-timers? For sure, it is not a complete sentence. Okay, write down. Not a complete sentence. But it is a supporting idea. It is an additional idea. Okay? The waiters serve like professionals. Which waiters? So it gives you this additional idea. The waiters who are mostly part-timers. Okay. Number two. Even though the movie is acted by newcomers, their acting is marvelous. So you must know what is a complex sentence. It has one main idea, only one main idea. So which one? In number two, their acting is marvelous. It is a complete idea, okay? So I purposely put two different colors so that you can see the difference. Which one is subordinate idea? Which one is the main idea? Okay, like in number two, even though the movie is acted by newcomers, is it a complete sentence? No. Remember, the subordinate idea is not a complete sentence. Okay, even though the movie is acted by newcomers. Okay, let's say you are reviewing a book. The book is affordable. It is a complete sentence. That is the main idea. Okay. The book that was written in simple English. That was written in simple English is not a complete sentence. It is an additional idea. It tells more. It describes more about the book. Okay. The chalet owner, who is a British, knows how to impress his local guests. So I really hope by now you have understood what is a complex sentence, what is a complex structure, because lembaga peperiksaan wants to see your ability to construct, okay, varied sentence structures. Okay. And there are many more examples here. Okay. Don't just say or don't just write, the resort is crowded with tourists. Okay. Give one additional info about the resort, like this one. The resort, which was opened in 2020, is crowded with tourists. Then your sentence will be a complex sentence. Okay. So for number 6, okay, remember, when it's easy, when you have after, it can be a complex structure. There will be a live band show after 8 p.m. or before. Okay, remember, before 8 p.m. It will also make your sentence a complex sentence. Or when, okay, when the new mall is viral, when it is visited by a famous celebrity. Okay, Mat Kilau has been on top of the best movie chart, okay, for 3 months. Because, okay, despite, and so on. Okay, tip number 9. Tip number 9, okay, be prepared. Sorry, before that, I just remember. Okay, boys and girls, for sure, to write complex structures, you need practices. Okay, so do make sure you have enough practices, because some of you, I am scared, if you don't have enough practices, but you still try to write complex sentences, you may end up having more errors. And we are so scared you may end up having more multiple word errors. Okay, teachers know what is MW is. So boys and girls, if I know, just make sure you don't have more serious errors. Okay, boys and girls, because you do not have enough practices to write complex structures, complex sentences. So do practice. Okay. Tip number 9. Okay, be prepared with relevant structures to recommend, to convince. Okay, because so far, okay, for review, and if you notice, I only focus on review. Okay, because you can really prepare yourself. Okay, to write a good review. So you see here, there are many. Actually, there are more than this. Okay, these are just examples. There are structures. Okay, there are structures which you can apply in order to recommend, in order to convince. Okay, like the ones you see in red. Number 1. Okay, you must not miss the chance to visit the heritage site, and of course, you can always apply. Okay, let's say the restaurant just now, SPM 2021. Is about reviewing a restaurant. You must not miss the chance to taste their famous dessert, let's say. You must not miss the chance to taste their famous dessert. So you apply. Like number 3, I'm crazy about the sound effects in the movie. Okay, to show when you have this kind of sentence, I'm crazy about the sound effects in the movie, it shows the sound effects are so good. The sound effects are super. Okay, use this sentence structure. And of course, when your friend, let's say you are trying to recommend to your friends to go and watch the movie. So when they read what you write, something like this, I'm crazy about the sound effects, that would in a way persuade them, that would in a way convince them to also go and watch the movie. Okay? So what I'm saying here, certain phrases which you use to recommend would enhance the quality of your language, and definitely when readers are more convinced, you will get a better mark. Okay, I adore all the polite staff at the cafe. So what else you adore? I adore the storyline of the novel, for example. I'm a big fan of its fish and chips. Okay. Okay. So if you have not used any of these useful phrases, please try to use. Please, if you need to memorize, do memorize, okay? And then, of course, practice, okay? Boys and girls, you cannot only memorize without having enough practices, okay? Tip number 10, okay? Be prepared with relevant structures to express like and dislike, okay? So far, teachers, boys and girls, Lembaga Perpesaan has not tested for review what you like, what you dislike. Okay, so who knows? It could be your SPM 2022. Okay, boys and girls, to write about what you like and dislike. So I'm sharing the same structures, okay, which I shared earlier when you write about pros and cons. Okay, so one criticism, the major downside or one of the minor downside. Okay, can you look at the second column, number 2? The major downside of the book, of the novel, would be its high price. So the word major you can change. Okay, you can change the word major to what? Minor. The minor downside. Okay, or one minor downside, one little downside. I hope you're writing down. Okay. Or I'm not in support of the resort's limited variety of local foods. Okay. Or the last one of the drawbacks of the movie is its length. Okay. Okay. And likes, you can use those structures. Now, tip number 11. Okay, tip number 11. Okay, when you write a review, you cannot run away from describing quality. Okay, like what? Like this one. If it is something excellent, okay, what are the relevant adjectives which you can use? Superb, outstanding, fantastic, great, good, reasonable, worthy, acceptable. Okay, you must understand each adjective here which describes the quality, they are not the same. Okay, like this one, satisfactory, okay, mediocre, average. Okay, so maybe when you are asked to write about what you dislike, you may use mediocre. Okay, so what is mediocre about the resort? Okay, or number 4, about bad. What is unpleasant? What is insufficient? Words like adjectives like insufficient, not enough, unpleasant, lacking, you need to know how to use. And of course, when you use, write complete sentences. Okay, and at the bottom of the quality would be poor, horrible, terrible, awful. Okay, so up to you. Of course, not up to you. You have to use depending on the question given to you, depending on the task that you are asked to fulfill. Okay? If you have questions later, I think at the end of the session, yes, there will be Q&A session. Okay, do ask questions. However, right now, let me proceed, okay, with tip number 12. Okay, so what about tip number 12? Be prepared with relevant adjectives to describe people, places, nature, and feelings. Okay, because boys and girls, whatever review that you write, there are always people, there are always places, nature, and feelings. Okay, these are examples. Okay, these are only examples of adjectives. Waiter, okay, waiter, amiable, amicable, actor, appealing, artistic. For sure, there are more words. Okay, not only appealing. Okay, so what I'm saying here, because you know, in your review, you have to give comments. You have to describe. So, in order to describe, get ready. This is an easy concept of working smart, not to work hard. Work smart by focusing on less common lexis, okay, or low frequency words like stuff, devoted, accommodating, okay, yeah. And I'm sure many of you have not used accommodating, which means helpful. Okay, places. Okay, let's say you have to write about a resort, review a resort. Okay, adjectives like serene, okay, tranquil, about the architecture, about the decoration. Okay, use imposing, state of the art, ultra modern. Okay, we know modern. Use ultra modern. Okay, nature. Okay, let's see. Of course, you have to be creative. If it is a resort, make sure the resort that you review is beach front, because you can use these prepared less common lexis, okay, such as hypnotic, therapeutic, the sunset, the waves. All right. If for us, this could be the relevant adjectives: impressive, engrossing, the landscape, the view, mesmerizing, okay, mesmeric, okay, if it's the movie setting, okay, the setting of the movie, spellbinding, compelling. There are more, of course, there are more relevant adjectives to describe nature. These are just examples. And what you must understand right now, okay, boys and girls, don't waste your time. Prepare this, okay? Prepare yourself with all these relevant adjectives. That would be really helping you, okay, to make sure when you write, there are less common lexis in your essay. Okay, feelings. Whose feelings? Of course, it's about your feelings. When you review about the novel that you read, when you review about the movie that you watch, when you review about the, as I said, the resort that you have visited, okay? Don't use happy. Use contented, ecstatic, surprise, okay? The guests were astonished with the architecture in the lobby, okay? Unhappy, okay? If you are asked to write about what you dislike, you may use these words, these adjectives, like displeased, irked, okay, or discontented, disgruntled. Okay, so what I am showing here right now, boys and girls, are examples of positive and negative feelings, which are relevant to write a review. Okay, there are more. There are more which you and your teachers can explore, okay, can list down. Now, how to write, okay, those sophisticated adjectives, those less common lexis. Okay, for example, number one, the waiters were amicable, okay. So it is a simple structure, and in terms of the idea, it is also a simple idea. But if you write something like this, the waiters were amicable when they talked to all the guests. It is a complex structure, remember when? And the idea is a straightforward idea, which should be given emphasis when you write. The ambience is spellbinding. Okay, number two. So the ambience, which is based on the futuristic theme, is spellbinding. So this is another example, okay, how you can write the less common lexis, the sophisticated adjective. Okay, and at the same time, you present a complex structure as well as a straightforward idea. Okay. The third one, the storyline is hypnotic. Okay. Although the language is simple, the storyline is hypnotic. So I am confident most of you have never used hypnotic. So after this, do try to apply. Okay, tip 13, be prepared with short paragraphs to write your reviews. Okay, this is good for candidates who are average, I would say. Okay, who are not natural writers. Okay, who may still have issues when you write. Okay, maybe grammar issues, maybe vocabulary issues. So I would suggest you be prepared with short paragraphs. Why? Okay, why? Because hopefully the words, the sentence structures, the vocabulary could be applied in exam. Okay, something like this. Okay. So if you agree with me, you can prepare a few synopses of different storylines, okay? And this synopsis can be used for your novel, maybe for your movie review, Okay, the story is about Lisa, who led a desolate life in a 3-story gigantic mansion on the top of Communing Hill. Her adoring husband passed away 6 years ago, and since then she had been living in the darkest zone. Lisa used to be jovial and contented with her life. However, everything changed abruptly after the demise of the sunshine of her life. So you could see here the sophisticated adjectives, okay, the ones in red, which you can always adopt and adapt, which you can always make changes to suit the real story, to fulfill the real task. Okay. Resort. My friend and I arrived at the majestic beachfront resort. This man-made heaven startled us, okay? Even though we had to pay 2,000 ringgit per night for our lavish suite, it was worthwhile. We were thrilled to bits and cherished every moment there. During the days that followed, all our stress totally vanished. So you see a few more examples. So you could prepare, okay, your own short paragraphs, okay? As I said, especially for candidates who may be just average candidates, okay? So now, when we talk about reviews, which areas that could be covered in your review? Okay, let's say a movie. Maybe you write about the storyline, the hypnotic storyline. Maybe you write about the appealing actors. Maybe you write about the crazy sound effects. Okay, write in short paragraphs. If not paragraphs, a few sentences to describe the effects. Because when you prepare yourself well, whatever review question is given to you, you will be able to handle. Because you don't know, SPM 2022, for your trial paper, what will be the review? And for sure in SPM 2022, the real one, which review will be asked? Cafe, okay, these are some ideas, but yeah, last year, restaurant review came out. Mall, you may be asked to write a mall. So maybe you prepare short paragraphs or some sentences to describe the location. Not only to describe the location, with the sentence, with the complex sentence structures, with the less common lexis, okay? Like to describe the stuff, a few less common lexis, a few straightforward ideas in that short paragraph. Novel, okay, not tested yet. So how to describe the author, maybe how to describe the storyline, how to describe anything like the language used. Okay. Resort, not tested yet. Okay, maybe you want to describe the nature. So prepare a short paragraph describing the nature at the resort. Describe the facilities, describe the staff. Because when you review, basically these could be some of your content. Okay, and don't forget to include facts and opinions. Okay, facts and opinions when you review. TV show. Yeah, we can also review a TV show, concerts, and so on. Okay. So, do prepare, okay, short paragraphs which you can always apply in most of the reviews. Okay. This is what we call smart preparation. All right. Very focused. Okay. Tip 14. Okay. Okay. Tip 14. Boys and girls, please be aware, okay, of the tips to construct sentences with cohesive devices and linking words. Okay, I bring in this tip because I know there could be some candidates who are not sure when to bring in cohesive devices. Okay. Now, how to include? As I said, when to bring in, how to bring in cohesive devices in your writing. Okay, this is also part of language. Present two ideas separately. This would be the answer. This would be the tip. Okay, for example, A. The waiters are amicable and polite. So you know that there are two ideas here. The waiters are amicable. That's the first idea. The waiters are polite. Second idea. So and is not a cohesive device. And is a linking word. Okay? So it's like this. The waiters are amicable. Full stop. Moreover, they are also polite. Okay? I know both sentences are simple sentences. However, you can bring in the cohesive device. And if you don't want to have two simple sentences, of course you can always add something. Okay. Second example, the novel is highly recommended because it is inspiring and hypnotic. So, okay, separate. The novel is highly recommended because it is inspiring. When you put a full stop, that would allow you to bring in another cohesive device like this one. In addition, it is hypnotic. Okay, but if you combine all in one sentence, all the ideas, the two ideas in one sentence, that would not give you an opportunity to bring in, to include your cohesive device. Okay. The third example, the soundtrack of the movie is mediocre, but the acting is superb. Okay. So the soundtrack of the movie is mediocre. However, the acting is superb. So hopefully you are clear with how to bring in your cohesive devices. Okay, because if you refer to the assessment criteria for writing, okay, in order to get a very good mark for your organization, okay, cohesive devices come under organization. Lembaga Perperasaan says what? Okay, candidates, you must use a variety of cohesive devices. Only then you can get a high mark for your organization. Okay, so this is a very practical way of how to bring in different types of cohesive devices, how to bring in a variety of cohesive devices when you write. Okay, so I've come to my final slide before I stop presenting. Definitely, I would like to highlight this. Okay, boys and girls, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Okay, I'm not talking about you getting, an F. You may fail to get your A. You may fail to get your A plus or A minus if you don't plan well, if you don't plan when to practice writing complex sentences, when you don't plan to write or present straightforward ideas, when you don't plan to write short paragraphs for your review, okay? All your preparations will require a thorough planning, okay? Then you will achieve success. And do not wait like 1 week or 2 weeks before your exam, only then you want to sit down and do something for your English, because success comes from consistency. Okay, whatever preparation that you do, it has to be consistent. You have to start from now. That's why planning is so important. Okay, what do you plan to do in August? Next month, September, what should you do to improve your language quality in writing? October, what must be done? Okay, so consistency is very important. Okay, boys and girls, Now we have come to the Q&A session. So I think I shall hand it over to Teacher Surinder.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Okay. Hi, teachers and students. We are now open to the question and answer session. Anyone? Any questions? Any questions from the teachers?
Questions or suggestions, like if they want to share their experience, their personal strategies, that would be good. Because I can also learn from you.
Okay, looks like there are no questions. So we shall go to the ending of this program. No questions? I hope that everyone can switch on their cameras.
Yeah, for our photo.
Yeah, so at least, for the photo session.
I hope no questions mean they understand everything clearly.
Yeah, I hope so too. Okay, I, on behalf of the principal of SMK Bengkelan all teachers and students of LMS, would like to thank Encik Zanurin for sharing the much needed ideas and tips in guiding the students. I'm pretty sure all of us, including teachers, have gained a lot of knowledge from this workshop. Thus, I hope with all the knowledge gained, we would be able to obtain more A's and increase the result of the SPM English paper for the year 2022 for Larut Matang and Selama. Can we have a round of applause for Encik Zanurin? Okay. Thank you, boys and girls, teachers. I would also like to thank all the schools in Larut Matang and Selama for taking part in today's program. Okay. This program is aimed to help our students to score the A and the A plus in the English writing paper. Okay. If you have any questions, you can also forward to the LMS English group. Okay. We teachers can help each other, okay, in guiding our students. And with that, thank you everyone. Okay, I end the session today. Thank you, Encik Zanurin, for accepting my offer on behalf of the LMS district. Okay, and have a nice day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
I hope they enjoyed the session and they learned a lot, sir.
Yeah. I'm
Actually,
taking
your tips
some
are
photos.
very good in helping those who are actually targeting for the A and A plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah. And even last year, I think our results in NS is even my school, they learned a lot from the session.
My school, okay, the result we got 0.92 for English.
Okay, that's very good.
Okay, I'm still here because I'm still taking some photos, the students' photos.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Teacher
Okay, thank you
Surinder.
so
Okay,
much.
bye.
Okay, thank you everyone. I'm going to log out now. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to off already, yeah? Okay, bye.